Dale is here, Carrie is here, Josh is here, and your Pratt Pack would love to be here every day. It's the Corner Grill, and we're going to kind of go in order, let them introduce themselves to you, and then we're going to talk about the bar, we're going to talk some football, we got to talk about this hockey team, and of course we got to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates, a little bit of sports, because that's what you do at a place like this. First and last name, go ahead, tell them.
Dale Browlock.
Mayflower, that Debo name. They'll keep you moving, even in the snow. They're that good. Who's this? All right, this is kind of like your significant other here?
Yes, it is.
All right, so what's it like hanging out with the most beloved knucklehead in New Brighton that I love, like a brother? He is. What's this bar mean to you? Obviously, the reason I came back here years ago and should have never left, because of him, a real lifesaver. And I've had so much fun here because of him. So what do you think about this bar?
Oh, it's awesome. The people, the community, the owners, I feel like a family.
All right, listen, you can exit stage left because I don't want you to get a cramp in that headlock over there. But listen, this is everything.
100%.
I'm here only because I love the Blooms, I love New Brighton, 12th Avenue. I wouldn't know where to go if this place would ever leave. Talk about why the significance of this sale is really such a huge part, historic part of New Brighton jail.
Well, I think it is because you have to take into consideration the tradition of the family name, Blooms, what they've done for the community, and the staple that this is.
Move in a little bit closer, Renee, so we can hear.
It's one of those things where 12, 13 years ago, when I started coming here, there were reasons, and he's been the staple
who's the best?
For me. Obviously my best friend, but, you know, like you said, you coming back here because of me.
I'm telling you.
It's one of those things where this is where you feel the most at home. Everybody knows everybody. You don't ever have riffraff. It's just so easy going. And it means a lot to the community. It's just, my grandfather had a bar, and you build roots, and this is one of those places where the roots, they're super deep and they're strong.
Listen, the family he's connected to, Johnson Debo, his family, obviously, hardworking, honest, down-to-earth, salt-of-the-earth people. And that bar, your grandfather, Debo's Bar and Grill, my dad would take me there. My cousin Ricky Michaels eventually would own it as the Pit and Pub. Now Jimmy Kay, Jimmy Klein, great place, a lot of fun there. But there's just something about this place, and I got to see him moments ago doing what he does best, carrying takeout food, because he spends all the time on the road delivering and picking up furniture. I wouldn't, if I had to move across the street, I would call this man here.
You have.
Yes, I have. And sometimes I had to move in a hurry, too. But anyway, we're going to talk sports with Josh a little bit, but please, just talk about your memories, this place, the holidays. And I told Renee and John earlier, one of the first Christmas Eves that I came here, I thought, when I saw that smorgasbord, I'm like, Dale, they're losing money.
100%.
I've never been to a bar where they put out food like that. And serve the type of food they serve.
And Renee, that's what she does. Like, holiday-wise, you couldn't go to a place where that was going to be something that you expected to walk into. I also have been here on Christmas Eve, and you couldn't feel more at home than you do here.
New Brighton, the Corner Grill, they go hand in hand.
100%.
So what would you like to see the future be? Obviously, they've done their time. They deserve their time. They got a family, their grandparents, I get it. But if I'm a young person, 20s, 30s, entrepreneurial spirit, who really wants to get into this ever-changing and evolving business, this is where I come. It's turnkey.
Couldn't agree more. It is turnkey because you have everything when it comes to entertainment. You have a good selection of alcohol. The people here, like I said, very easy to get along with, and you couldn't ask for a better place to come to.
All right.
People became family.
Absolutely.
I'm going to put you to work right now.
Let's do
Would
it.
you like to stay with us, or would you?
Okay.
Good. Okay. So Marc-Andre Fleury, Minnesota Wild. No way. He's on the Pat McAfee show today, and I'm actually at home doing a little work from the home studio. Rare day out from the radio. And I'm thinking, there's trade possibilities, this, that, whatever. Maybe they say his best days are behind him, but he did okay in Las Vegas. Still one of the Pittsburgh Penguins' all-time favorites. My question is, with Evgeny Malkin, Sidney Crosby, Coach Sullivan, do they have one more run in them? One of the weak points of this hockey team has been their net minding, their goaltending. I'm not saying Andre Fleury is the answer, but if they would do something significant at that position, could they make one more push for one more cup?
I think they could, but I think they have a lot of faith in the goalies that they have now.
Okay.
Jari, yeah. I don't know if Jari is
the guy.
He's set for the long haul, but I mean, you've seen in the past, all it takes is one goalie to get hot at the right time, and he might be able to do that. You have a strong enough team built around him where it's more so than just the big face that Fleury was, right?
Right.
I think we can do fine with what we have.
If I'm the new owner here, the first person I hire and give a raise to, and the key to the kingdom, him.
They treat me well.
No,
They have.
no. I know they do, but you understand. You know the business. I know the business. You got to have somebody that it's like blood brothers. You got to be as tight as thieves. You've got to be so close.
Thicker than that.
Yeah, because they can make or break you. But if you have somebody who's willing to live that life,
the face of the organization,
he's the man. And he always has a kind word, always shakes your hand. He'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. And if you're having the worst
he really is the face of the organization.
He is. And if you're having one of the worst days in your life, and
I'm saying that openly.
And he puts the Miller Lite on the bar before you even ask for it, I'm in. So you come with the woodwork, buddy. What do you think about this thing? They got one more left in it?
They can, 100%. It's just one of those things where their line selection is okay. Could you tweak it a little bit? Penalty killing, that's one of their weaknesses in my opinion. I've been to a couple games this year. It's one of those things where goalie is their weakness. It really truly is, and it's hit and miss. You have a great night, or you have a really bad night.
That's unacceptable.
It is unacceptable.
And you lose to
think
some
about
teams you shouldn't lose to.
Marasso, Hedberg, and then Fleury. You think about those guys.
Like centers with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
DeSmith, 100%.
Right.
DeSmith, Jari, you're like, which one are we going to see? And it just depends. But we have to, just like anything, you have to score and then defend, rather than come back from non-defense and try to outscore. That's our problem.
All right.
Our legs are a little bit old. You know what I mean? I can do my job. I can still do it fast, but not as fast as a 25-year-old. If that makes any sense.
Okay, now, Pirates, real quick. O'Neill Cruz to Brian Hayes, Brian Reynolds. I love it.
I love the core.
Solid.
Right. I think, and this is where we need Brian Debo here. I'm telling you,
He's a football guy.
Yeah.
You got the baseball guy.
Oh, so you're the baseball guy.
Oh, we're the baseball guys.
Oh, good then. It worked out. Because I always thought he was the baseball guy. But anyway, O'Neill Cruz to Brian Hayes, Brian Reynolds, Mitch Keller, you sign him to a new deal or trade him for something else. I think they've got a nucleus, although some may disagree. And John Bloom earlier said below 500. I think finding this.
We bet this every year.
Right. That's
Me and John Bloom. We bet this every year.
It's above 500. They're not going to take the division, but it's maybe 10 games above 500. Reasonable?
I can get with that. Yeah, I think so. 5 to 10.
Is there a clear runaway in the division now? I think they can push. They can They could.
I mean, who's the cream of the crop in the division? They can compete with any of them. Chicago. I mean, come on.
Milwaukee. I mean, if I had to go out on a limb, I would say Milwaukee.
The youth of Cincinnati.
Now it's kind of changing guard. But Milwaukee is the ones that are tried and true. They still have their core. But Ellie De La Cruz, is he really the guy that's going to take them to the promised land? Eric Davis in the 80s was the guy. And guess what? He did not. And Ellie is step by step with Eric Davis, and here we are. We got to wait and see.
You like Sheldon?
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Carrington?
I'm not a huge fan, but I'm not a hater either.
Let me ask you. So,
The owner?
Well, no, wait. Listen, when Pirate Fest took place, fans were coming out swinging, talking about the paycheck. Not enough. You need to spend more. Get out the checkbook. But don't you think Brian Reynolds to Brian Hayes? I mean, it's not that he's not writing some big checks.
I think you're right. He has, but did we peak prior to literally putting it all out? You know, O'Neal Cruz being injured last year,
That hurt.
it killed us.
Can he be 30 for 30 guys?
100 million %.
Okay.
He could be a 40 for 40 guy.
With the new rules.
The new rules,
Yeah.
he could be a 40 for 40 guy, but it's just one of those things where you could throw 108 miles an hour from third base to first base or from shortstop. Guess what? I can put you anywhere on that field. You have to be ready mentally in order to do that. You have to be a team player. It's one of those things where he's young.
Right.
He's able to be coached, and if he has the right support system behind him, he can be a phenomenal player going forward.
Let me just say this. My buddy Steve Sheets, Travis, of course, running the show now. You can get Miller Lite at Sheets Convenience Store in Rochester, too. So got to take care of the hometown team. All right, we're going to talk some football and then let you guys get out of here. Josh Orlowski and, of course, Dale is here. We're at the Corner Grill. We're in New Brighton. The Bloom family give me a chance to come in here. And my way of just saying thanks for a lot of love through the years. And I love being at the Corner Grill. Now, Tommy, this whole talk about Mike Tomlin, I want him to stay. I see what's out there. All this speculation of who, what, when, where, why, and how. I said earlier today in the blog, Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator of Detroit, needed a young offensive-minded head coach. Do the same deal you did with Mayo, with Bill Belichick. Put it in the deal 3 or 4 years down the road. It's yours if you want it. I know a lot of people want better than what we've done, but when you look who's out there, Jim Harbaugh, Bill Belichick, I found out today that they're going to keep their man in Dallas, so he's staying, which I'm real happy for Coach McCarthy, Greenfield native. Jerry Jones says he's staying. What do you make of this whole coaching carousel? And the first question I asked you, Josh Orlowski, is it time for Mike Tomlin to go or sign an extension?
I've been a supporter of his entire time here. I know there's been a lot of talk about him. A change of scenery could do well for both him and the organization. I want to see him here. He is a winner. I mean, I don't see who else is out there that we would, as an organization, go and get. You know, if Steelers are making a change, they're getting someone young. They want someone. They're not going to bring in a seasoned vet like a Belichick or anything like that. They're going to get someone young. Yeah, they like you. Get someone in here. They would go young, so they can be here for 10, 15, 20 years. We've had 3 coaches in the last 60 years. Yeah, I mean, that's just a pattern that's been set forth, and that's what they're going to go with.
All right, what do you think?
Oh, I wouldn't change it right now, honestly.
Is Pickett the guy moving forward?
I don't know about that.
I'm not going to say no, and I'm not going to say that I'd sell the farm on that. But at the same time, he's been injured. He had big shoes to fill. Our offensive coordinator at the beginning of the year, everybody knows, is just not good.
Non-existent.
Has anybody seen him since he left?
No.
Okay.
You haven't heard hide or hair. Like you don't
I'm not sure if
get
anybody
it.
wants to see him.
No, but he might turn up somewhere.
Yeah.
He might. But as far as the coaching change, you got to remember, no matter if we're fans or not, grown men go out there and they run the plays. They practice these plays, and if they don't execute, it's not 100% the coach's fault. Now you have coordinators that put plays into place, and execution is critical.
Right.
You got to block, and I got to have time to do so. And we've watched, and Mason was a savior for 3 or 4 weeks, and he is who we thought he was.
Like Joe Flacco.
Exactly, just like Joe Flacco, just like Tua, just like all these quarterbacks that had huge potential and just fell short. Look at the Eagles. They were the best team in football for 11 weeks.
I try to sign Jason Kelsey if he wants to come to the Steelers. Listen, I don't want to make Renee film all night here, so let's get right to these games this weekend. By the way, all the games all weekend right here at the place that is the Corner Grill. C.J. Stroud and Lamar Jackson. Who do you like? And by the way, Baltimore, last time I checked, BetRivers.net, 9.5 point favorite.
Oh yeah, 10. Like it's 9.5, 10.
All right, you first. Who do you like?
I mean, obviously you're gonna go with Baltimore.
He's
C.J.
not very
Stroud.
well in the playoffs.
C.J. Stroud. Could he do it? Yeah, he could. But Baltimore's out there to face the Titan. As far as the Chiefs or the Bills, is it going to be Mahomes or Josh Allen? That's who's going to have to beat Lamar Jackson. Could they do it? They could, but I wouldn't get my hopes
I
up.
think it's going to be a closer game than people expect. Nico Collins is a baller.
Tanked out.
Yeah. They got pieces in place.
Singletary.
I think it's a closer game than people expect.
I agree, but I
Is it
just,
9.5 points?
say this.
9.5 points?
You two are really
I'm
good.
taking the points.
All right. Then we got Green Bay and Jordan Love, who looks like Aaron Rodgers.
Dead
Really
to rights.
throwing off the back foot. And the seventh rounder, Brock Purdy. I simply said the reason the Niners are favored by 9.5, he's got a lot of weapons.
all the weapons in the world. All the weapons. CMC right off the bat. Debo Samuel, Ayuk. I mean, you could go on and on. Yeah, you think about what they have. George Kittle alone, in the right scenario, could do it. Green Bay ain't ready for this. They might get beat by 24. You got it on film.
Who do you like?
I mean, Dallas said the same thing, but you see what happened to Dallas.
They are who they thought they were.
Okay, so let's move to the next day. Detroit, the slight favorite by a field goal, I believe. Tampa Bay. Listen, Baker Mayfield, great story. You like that?
Jared Goff. Oh, let's go. I want the Lions.
Me too.
All day, baby.
How can you not want the Lions when you're from the home of the Detroit
30,
Lions?
30 years.
Greatest story right now in the NFL.
Couldn't agree more.
Who hasn't owned a Ford automobile in their lifetime? And by the way, Danny Makuga of the Makuga family is the biggest Detroit Lions fan anywhere on the planet. He grew up here, so
It's their time.
it is their time.
And they're going to go to San Francisco. And I hope they beat San Francisco. But that's next
And
week.
Dan Campbell is our time.
He is 100%.
All right. So who do you like now?
I'm rooting for Detroit for sure.
They're beating by 10.
All right. The other games. Go ahead. You start. Who do you like?
I'm a Josh Allen guy.
Me too.
I'm over the whole Pat Mahomes and
If any team deserves a Super Bowl, it's Buffalo.
it's the 90s Bills.
4 times straight.
3 in a row where they got annihilated.
How can you not love the Buffalo? You gotta love the Buffalo Bills. And Mahomes and company has won some, but I think one thing we'll agree. Taylor Swift is definitely moving the meter. That's a good thing. That's a good thing for the great game that is the NFL. So all you haters out there, grow up. She's a good thing. I love the Kelsey brothers. Listen, Jason Kelsey's on the sideline crying. I'm crying at the home studio. Travis Kelsey, lots of talent, life after, Saturday Night Live, the whole thing. He can catch, maybe the best ever to play that position.
He's a media star.
Gronk was great.
Alcazar.
There's been some great ones. But without Tyreek Hill, they're not the same team.
They're not. They struggled. They struggled at wide receiver. Good.
This team's built a little different though. It was all about the offense before. This defense has something to show, and they've been showing it.
I think their defense is their suspect part. I think their offense is a little stronger than their defense is.
All those young corners. It's probably the best thing with
How
this
about
team.
that rookie, right?
Machine,
Rice,
yeah.
yeah.
Woo! Pacheco stepping
I
up.
think she's resting her arms now because
See,
like
Such a fine line in the NFL.
Josh Allen, he got it in him.
He's a stud.
He's gonna get it.
But here's the thing, all Steelers fans need to take this from heart. He comes out of Wyoming, then comes out of the MAC.
Same size.
Brock
same
Purdy's his 7th round pick. So I'm hoping Kenny Pickett is the guy because of the hometown discount. But if he isn't, there's always that next one. Maybe up at Oak Hill Field right now, throwing the ball through the tire. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe Con brings in Russ Wilson, Kyler
I don't
Murray.
know.
We'll see. I don't want it either. But there's a reason that we're sitting here talking about it, and a reason they have a job.
See, here's the deal.
do what they do.
We got to find an owner for this place. I'm too old. If I was 20 years younger, I'd have signed a check tonight.
We should just go together and buy it.
Let me tell you something. I would love it. I could retire happy man.
Me too.
Happy man. What's your favorite food here?
Probably their salads, their steak.
Oh,
and
come
chicken
on.
salad.
Get off that stuff. Let's talk about real food. Meatloaf, mashed potatoes. Come on.
Oh, anything Renee makes is amazing.
It is.
Anything.
How about you?
Stuffed peppers.
Woo!
Sign it every time.
Listen, up high. My man. I love you, man. I love the Blues. I love the Debos. I love your family.
Love you too.
I love New Brighton. Look, all I'm saying is click your heels 3 times. You say there's no place like home. What time's the truck coming? It's your crap pack.
Just parked it.
Good night from the Corner Grill in my hometown of New Brighton, Pennsylvania.
Thank you.